Good afternoon. Welcome to MEED Live. My name is Richard Thompson. I'm the editorial director of MEED. We have a special broadcast of MEED Live today. We're going to be looking at the power sector, and in particular, we're going to be looking at the captive power market.
What we're seeing across the region now is energy security is key. So it's key for utilities providing power for people, populations. Obviously, the industrial sector is the same. Their business depends on having an access to unlimited power. And it fits into the wider sort of shift we're seeing to diversifying fuel sources. It's all about energy security. Make sure you've got the capacity and you've got the fuel.
If you look at it today, all the GCC countries, the smelter followed the same path. If you see now, all the smelters in the region, they have their own captive power station, like in Sohar Aluminium, like in Dubai Aluminium, like in Imal or EGA in Abu Dhabi. But again, the main added value of having your own captive power station is to have a commercial control, is to lock your cost.
So it's for commercial security, if
Exactly,
you like. Okay.
exactly. It's commercial, it comes first, and then also in case of the power crisis, prioritization. If you are importing from the grid, the priority it goes to the grid. However, metal industry, it's a process which can't afford a power outage.
So what is it that's special about this particular Class H turbine? Why is it so efficient?
The key element that is out there is constantly learning from the prior products that we have made so that we can put an advancement on the next one. So H, if you see, is the 100 years of experience coming together and bringing all the best practices of the prior assets into this machine is what gets it into the shape of putting it forward for the better efficiency.
So this is, people seem to want to go to the worst case scenario. So here we are, the worst case scenario, line 6 goes down, you've switched off the old plant. What do you do then?
Again, always the strategy to have a backup to cover a loss of your biggest generation. This is the strategy for any captive power design for the smelter industries. So even though we are phasing out our least efficient power station, still we are keeping enough generation backup to cover loss of our biggest gas turbine and power station.
So it's the old adage, you plan for the worst, hope for the best, and take what comes in between. I'll start with you, Andrew. Any observations about the outlook for the market or the important things that people should be aware of?
We have seen examples now of diversification for renewable, using renewable projects. I know one that GE has done in Saudi Arabia for Aramco. They put in a wind turbine for Aramco's bulk plant at Tarif. So that's an example of where, for captive power, they're using renewables when it's possible. It's obviously a lot lower energy intensive there. So I think we'll see a move towards diversification when possible.
Interesting. Gagan, any final observations on the technology or the captive power market in the Middle East?
I would just say that the shift in last decade has been like, get me the power to get me the power at the better cost and the best cost, and not just power but the steam as well, right? So I think that shift predominantly will decide the future investment decisions of how industries think about what assets are being used. So faster, better, and cheaper ways to deliver the energy efficiencies through these assets is what we'll be looking forward in this industry's growth for next 10, 15 years, I would say.
Thank you. And I mean, just final word from Alba. Well, I'm going to ask for two final words. First, tell us a little bit about the project, where we are with the Line 6 and the power plant. And then secondly, any observations on how captive power works or the market?
Yes, the project Alba put Line 6, it's on track for the first hot metal date on January 1st, 2019. For the power station, we celebrated a major milestone on October 30th where we fired the first gas turbine.
Congratulations.
So the project is on track, and all Alba and Bahrain are looking forward to make Alba the largest smelter in the world. And this is a moment of pride for all. In Bahrain, you imagine the aluminium capacity in Bahrain production will be 1.5 million metric ton in one of the smallest islands in the world. We produce twice size of aluminium production in US, which is around 800,000 metric
Wow,
ton.
that's incredible.
So that's really incredible. So we are all looking forward for.
Amazing. Well, congratulations. And to all three of you, thank you so much for your time. Thank you very much for your time today. And thank you, gentlemen.
Thank you.
Thank you.